and hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour, your source for news, talk, and uncensored commentary for the veteran community. I am your host, Douglas B., and you can listen to us the first Tuesday of every month here on veteransair.us or Conroe's FM 106.1 and 104.5, Facebook Live, YouTube, and wherever you get your fine podcasts. As always, a little housekeeping before we get started today. You can contact Veterans Air through our website at www.veteransair.us. Leave us a message, or better yet, you can contact us in the studio on our Google phone at 936-344-3083. I have to say this. The views and opinions in today's program are solely the views and opinions of the host and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of this station, its programming, sponsors, or advertisers. With that statement read, you know it's going to be an interesting show. Jackson Browne immortalized the words, "Flying down 295 out of Portland, Maine, still high from the people up there, feeling no pain." The title of today's show is Texas Legislators Declare War on Veterans. Stay with me here, and I'm going to explain today SB 3 and what it means for you. We have a lot of information to go through, and it's going to be important that you check out the show links above, below, or on the sides, wherever it is Dick puts it, so you can glean the same information that I have. What I have here in front of me is 25 pages of SB 3 that's going to become law. Now, SB 3 did pass the Texas Senate and the House of Representatives, and it is currently sitting on Governor Abbott's desk to be signed. If you are curious to which senators and representatives voted for this bill, I've included the link below. And yes, Mr. Metcalf and Mr. Crichton did vote for this. As a matter of fact, Representative Crichton co-sponsored this bill. SB 3 deals with THC and CBD, CBH, CBGs in the state of Texas. Yeah, I'm not going to even try to say those words. Dick's going, are you going to say the words? Hell no, I'm not even going to try. But let's make a distinction here. Marijuana is illegal in the state of Texas, and it always has been. Delta 8 and Delta 9 extracts were legal for a number of years. Now, I'm going to read you something that I pulled off of the internet, dated February 21st of this year. Is Delta 9 stronger than Delta 8? Delta 9 THC is more potent than Delta 8 and accounts for most of the THC that occurs naturally in the cannabis plant, which makes it easy to extract explaining why it's more commonly smoked. Delta 8 THC, however, is about half as potent. Delta 9 THC over 0.3% is illegal in any form in the state of Texas. Hemp-derived Delta 8, Delta 9, and CBD products with less than 0.3% Delta 9 THC are technically legal, but you still can get arrested for it. Why did we make this distinction? We made this distinction because veterans use CBD and CBH products that contain less than 0.3% THC. And primarily, there are two types of these hemp derivative consumables. I'm talking gummies, Rice Krispie treats, chocolates, things like that, food. There's two primary components to that. One is Delta 8 NCBDs, and one is Delta 9 NCBDs. And they're used for entirely different purposes. I am sure that there's probably veterans out there that are smoking weed. They are the exception to the rule of veterans using CBD products. If you use a CBD product, you're aware of these differences. If you do not, let me explain why veterans use these products. One of the reasons that the VA uses these products, the veterans use this product, is because the VA no longer treats chronic pain. Another reason is if you're looking for mental health help at the VA, there is currently a 6-month backlog to get to be seen. I'm not making this stuff up. There's facts to back this up. Now, veterans have a slew of problems ranging from pain to mental health to insomnia. And I'm going to use myself as an example because, yes, I use CBD products. I use 2 different types of CBD products depending on what I need that day. I'll use a Delta 9 during the daytime if I need a little extra boost to get me up over the edge of the pain. And we've had this happen where mornings you wake up and you go, I'm not going to make it today. I'm just not going to make it. And you know what? For the amount of falls that I've had recently, I need something to a little bit over the edge. Not looking to be out of pain. If you're a chronic pain sufferer, you're not going to be out of pain, but you may be looking for something to take the edge off. That's my Delta 9 gummies. I also have a very specific type of insomnia. And my insomnia works like I can fall asleep, but I can't sleep more than 45 minutes to an hour at a time. And then I'm up for another 45 minutes to an hour. Body never reaches REM sleep. And after a week of that, it's not pretty. So I'll take a Delta 8 product, gummy, to help me sleep. As a matter of fact, I took one last night, and I slept all through the night. It was wonderful. Now we know the difference between Delta 9 and Delta 8s, about gummies, about consumables. Let's talk specifically about SB 3 that's currently sitting on the governor's desk waiting to be signed. SB 3 is an act relating to the regulation of products derived from hemp, including consumable hemp products and hemp-derived cannabinoids contained in those products, requiring occupational licenses and permits, imposing fees, creating criminal offenses, authorizing an administrative penalty. I want to make no mistake here. This act is not to protect children, as it was touted to. This act is not to prevent illegal use of cannabis or CBDs. This act has everything to do with raising revenue, for the state to raise revenue and prosecute criminally. 25 pages of it. Let's go on with some more definitions here. In Section 1, Section 443.001 of the Health and Safety Code is amended by amending Subdivision 1 and adding Subdivision 8A, which reads as follows. Consumable hemp products mean food, a drug, a device, a cosmetic, as those terms are defined by Section 431.002, that contain hemp or one or more of hemp-derived cannabinoids, including cannabidiol and cannabigerol. Yeah, I probably mispronounced them, thus CBD and CBGs. Let's unpack that for a minute. Consumable hemp product means food, a drug, a device, or a cosmetic. Gummies are food. Chocolate bites are food. They make CBD creams and roll-ons, as a matter of fact. They are covered under this. The regulating of them are covered under this. This further reads that a minor means a person under 21 years of age. A person under 21 years of age. So here we have a combat soldier comes back. He's not yet 21. He's a minor under this. He already can't smoke, can't have a beer, but now he can't have a product that helps him get by. Now, subchapter A, under non-applicabilities, say that low THC cannabis, this chapter does not apply to low THC cannabis regulations under Chapter 487. They consider low THC content to be anything less than 0.3% THC. That right there says, okay, Delta 8 and Delta 9s that we can get today should be legal. Keep that in mind. Now, Section 443.1036, licensing fees. An application for licensing under this subchapter shall pay an initial licensing fee to the department in the amount of $10,000 for each location where the applicant intends to process hemp or manufacture a consumable hemp product. $10,000 a pop. You got 3 buildings, that's $30,000. Remember what I said? This is all about revenue? This is all about revenue. Now, there's a whole slew of things that a licensee has to do before he would even be considered for a license. One of those things is covered under Section 443.106, restriction on manufacture of certain consumable hemp products. These are your gummies. A license holder may not manufacture a consumable hemp product that contains any amount of a cannabinoid other than cannabidiol or CBD or CBH. Can't do it. So today, you run online and go to your favorite CBD manufacturer, Hometown Heroes, DeVega. There's a slew of them out there. And you can get a product that you want that has less than 0.3% THC, a Delta 9 or a Delta 10, a stevia or an inculin plant. When this law becomes effective, those products go away. That's what this law says so far. Let's delve into this a little bit further. Under Section 7, Sections 443.152A and C, Health and Safety Code, they are amended as reads follows. A consumable hemp product that contains any amount of cannabinoids or CBDs or CBHs and has a Delta 9 THC concentration of more than 0.3% may not be sold at retail or otherwise introduced into commerce in this state. That's not a change. Now, 2 years ago, this bill came up and it was shot down and went to committee because the law that they did write did not specifically mention Delta 9s or Delta 8s or the two hemp plants derivatives of. So for 2 years, we've been using hemp-derived consumables and have created a economy of around 50,000 people that work in the industry because there was a loophole. This law is supposed to close that loophole. This law is supposed to stop the use of CBDs and CBGs that may contain any types of THC. And this is why, because they are so effective, these consumables, is the reason why Texas State VFW and other groups stand opposed to this bill. I know a veteran that suffers from epilepsy and spasms. This individual uses a consumable that's a roll-on to roll onto her skin like you would Bengay or Icy Hot to alleviate or lessen those tremors and spasms that they get. And it's very effective for them. We all know that CBDs are not effective 100% of the people. It depends how much CBD receptors you have in your body, one. Two, if there's any THC associated with the CBDs or CBGs. We're just going to call them CBDs, okay? Because the THC, a low amount of THC, helps the body activate the CBD receptors. This isn't just Doug sprouting this. This is medical evidence. Sections 443.202B and C of the Health and Safety Code are amended to read this. 1. If the oil contains any material extracted or derived from the plant cannabis stevia L, other than from hemp, produced in compliance with United States Code 7, Chapter 38, Subchapter 7, they've just outlawed this plant. And what comes from the stevia L? Yes, Delta 8. Delta 8 specifically comes from the cannabis stevia plant. It goes on further to say, unless a sample representing the oil has been tested by a laboratory that is accredited by an independent accreditation body in accordance with International Organization for Standards, that's the ISO, or a comparable or successor standard, and found not to contain any amount of cannabinoids other than CBD, have a delta 9 THC concentration of not more than 0.3%. Reputable CBD firms today are lab tested. Go to any reputable one and you can see the lab standards. ISO certification for a lab is something that should happen. We should be using these labs that are ISO certified because that's a standard that they live up to. A person may not sell consumable hemp products unless the person has provided to the department written consent from the person or the property owner. If the person is not the property owner, allowing the Department of Public Safety, and any other state or local law enforcement agency to enter into all premises where consumable hemp products are sold, to conduct a physical inspection, or to ensure compliance with this chapter and the adopted rules under this chapter. Let me break that down. What that means, what you're agreeing to when you apply for a license to sell this gives the law enforcement and the department, the state, the right to enter your place of business and inspect whenever they want without a subpoena. That's what you're agreeing to here. So if you own a shop and you're selling CBD products from a reputable CBD organization that does have a license, you also need to have a license here, and you're agreeing that they can enter your shop and conduct an inspection at any time without probable cause. That's what you're agreeing to. This is how douglasb reads this law. Section 13 of Section 443.204 of the Health and Safety Code is amended to read as follows. These are rules related to the sale of consumable hemp products. Hemp-derived CBDs, including CBD and CBG, are not considered controlled substances or adulterants. CBDs and CBGs are not considered a controlled substance. Products containing one or more hemp-derived cannabinoids, such as CBD or CBH, intended for ingestion are foods, not controlled substances or adulterated products. At the beginning, it specifically said you can't have these things in foods. Now it's saying products containing one or more hemp-derived CBDs or CBHs intended for ingestion are considered foods and not controlled substances or adulterated products. This law contradicts itself, doesn't it? I'm not making this up. I am not putting Doug's spin on it. This is word for word in the law. And you can read this law for yourself in the link below or above or on either side. That section further goes on in subparagraph 4, saying that the process or manufacturing of a consumable hemp product for smoking is prohibited. Doug's opinion, good. Let it be prohibited. Because we know from our own research here at Veterans Air that smoking is the least effective way of getting a CBD into your body. Don't smoke it. And if you're a veteran and you're out there and you're smoking weed, stop. If you need to smoke marijuana or a hemp-derived product for a medical illness as prescribed by a doctor, then do so. Because there are some diseases out there where smoking helps, such as glaucoma, such as cancer patient, I can't speak, cancer treatment patients. It is sometimes prescribed by the doctor to enhance appetite. If you're a recreational user and you're a veteran, I'm telling you right now, Doug's opinion is you're hurting your brothers and sisters. Hey, I might finish this whole thing if I keep passing over stuff. This is a very, very long law here. Like I said, it's 25 pages. And I'm not reading everything because not everything is going to apply to a veteran. And we're Veterans Air and we're dealing with veterans. This, though, is important. Section 17 of Chapter 443 of the Health and Safety Code, Subchapter F, Criminal Offenses. Section 443.251, Offense for manufacturing, delivering, or possession with intent to distribute of certain consumable hemp products. A person commits an offense if the person knowingly manufactures, delivers, or possesses with the intent to deliver a consumable hemp product that contains any amount of cannabinoids other than CBD or CBH. When they say any amount of a cannabidiol, THC is a cannabidiol, just so you know. An offense under this section is a felony of the third degree. If conduct constituting an offense under this section also constitutes an offense under another law, the actor may be prosecuted under this section, the other law, and or both. What does this mean? Well, and why is this important to you? I'm going to put on my VFW aide-de-camp hat for a minute and say, well, the Texas VFW does support the use of CBDs and CBHs. And they have matter of factly, in some posts, sell the product. Since they're selling this product, when this law comes into effect, they've committed a felony. They've committed a felony. Now, for some of us, we would love to see our post officers be arrested, but others of us, not so much. This portion of the law right here is going to affect the stance of the VFW and other organizations that support the use of cannabidiol. Now, Section 443.252 under the offense in possession of certain consumable hemp products. It further reads, a person commits an offense if the person knowingly or intentionally possesses a consumable hemp product that contains any amount of a cannabinoid other than CBDs or CBHs. An individual person can be charged. An individual person can be charged. If I happen to be working in an establishment that sells these products, I, as an employee, can also be charged. That's important. An offense under this section is a Class C misdemeanor, except that if it is shown on the trial that the offense, that the time of the offense, the actor had been previously convicted of an offense under this section 2 or more times. In that case, the offense is a misdemeanor punishable by a fine not less than $250 and not more than $2,000. Confinement in a jail for a term not to exceed 180 days, or both the fine and the confinement. The court shall order a person placed on deferred disposition for a conviction of an offense under this section 2, perform community service for not less than 8 and not more than 12 hours if the person has not previously been convicted of an offense under this section, or not less than 20 and not more than 40 hours if the person has been previously convicted of an offense under this section. And you have to submit and pass a substance abuse education program. So here we see that filing to grow and produce this stuff is a criminal offense, if not licensed. And the individuals that sell it also can be charged criminally for this. Section 443.255 for the offense of the sale or delivery of certain consumable hemp products near a school. In this section, school and premise have the meanings assigned by section 481.143. A person commits an offense if this person sells, offers for sale, or delivers a consumable hemp product containing hemp-derived cannabinoids in or on 1,000 feet of the premise of the school. It is an offense under this section, is a Class B misdemeanor. We're going to protect the children because we have gas stations and corner stores that are selling hemp-derived products. Well, they can't do that within 1,000 feet of a school or a premise that acts like a school. And you're thinking to yourself, well, what about alcohol and tobacco products? You have to be 21 to buy those, and you can sell those within 1,000 feet. There's gas stations selling beer and wine and whatnot right across the street from the school. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. So it's okay if you want to get drunk to relieve your symptoms, but you're a criminal if you want to get relief from some of the symptoms using a cannabinoid. Falsifying laboratory reports. How you can get your license revoked. so forth and so forth. So let's recap for a second. The product that you're currently using is probably going to become illegal, whether it's Delta 8 or Delta 9, because this law contradicts itself about THC and Delta 9s. It's totally outlawed Delta 8, which is a milder form of THC, but allows Delta 9 in concentrations less than 0.3%. It excludes foods like your gummy bears, but then includes them later on in the law. Very poorly written, but it passed. It passed overwhelmingly, both the Senate and the Texas House of Representatives. Now, I personally called our representatives, Metcalf and Crichton. Their office has not yet supplied a statement on their votes. And I'm not blaming them. I mean, the legislative session ends today. So they've been busy, and I'm sure their staff has been busy. But I am not pleased on the outcome of this law. Not pleased at all. In my opinion, the state of Texas has declared war on its veterans. This goes out to our representatives and senators and the governor. Reading this law, it appears to me you want veterans to suffer. It appears to me, reading this law, that you say, okay, you can supplement to alleviate your symptoms of a host of ailments by getting drunk. That's okay, but not by eating a consumable derived from hemp. That's bad. That upsets me to no end. Now, what's next? What happens here now that it's passed both houses and has gone to the governor for signature? Well, I talked to Governor Abbott's office, and Abbott has declined to comment on whether he's going to sign SB 3 into law or not. The legislation has been sent to his desk, and while the governor has been vocal about the bills he intends to sign, the THC ban has not been mentioned and is currently having pressure put upon him by opposing sides. The governor has three choices that he can do. He can either sign the bill into law, veto the legislation, or allow it to sit on his desk for 10 days, at which point it will pass without his direct approval and take effect on September 1st, 2025. So it went to his desk on May 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tomorrow, if he doesn't veto this, tomorrow this law goes into effect. Is anybody else upset other than me? Now, I will call my distributors where I get my products from, and that would be Hometown Heroes and D Vega, and I will talk to them to see about how to make their product more shelf stable. And I will order product because of this law. Because unless the governor calls a special session and brings back the legislation to redo this law, or he vetoes it outright, this is the law of the land for the next 2 years. Because our legislators meet only every 2 years. Now, I and VFW and other organizations have worked very hard to mitigate the damages of this law. And a lot of them have been mitigated. We can still get, under this law, products that have a THC content of 0.3% or less, but we can't get another whole product. The stevia plant is outlawed, and for some of us, we need that plant. We need the products derived from that plant. I personally need that product so I can sleep, but it's okay. I can either go to the VA and get more VA Skittles. I can drink myself asleep, or I can ask the state if I can have a medical marijuana license so I can purchase marijuana from the state of Texas to smoke, where they're saying right here that you can't smoke it. I don't know about you, but I don't want the state involved any more in my health care than it needs to be. You're protecting children. I had a congressman's, a representative's office tell me that the reason that they're supporting this law is because it's going to protect the children. I'm not seeing how. You already can't buy it if you're under 21. If a kid gets hold of it, he's getting hold of it the same way he gets a pack of smokes. But these products are expensive. It's $65 just for a bag of 10 gummies. So if there's high school kids or elementary school kids that are walking into a grocery store or a gas station across the street from the school and buying this product to get high, I want to know what parent they belong to and whether or not they'll adopt me so I can do the same thing with their money. Now I went off a bit of a rant here. How much time do I have, Dick? I got 5 minutes? Okay. If you are curious about this law, and you should be if you use CBDs or CBHs, I encourage you to download the law from the link below and contact your senator and representative, state senator and representative. They're all listed down there. There's a link for them. And you can find which one is yours, click on their link, and it'll take you directly to how to contact them. This is the time where you need to be vocal. Hemp-derived consumable products are not a cure. No one's saying they're a cure. But they help you alleviate the symptoms of what's wrong with you. You owe it to yourself to get involved this time. You have two choices. You can either say, "Thank you, Doug," and go on your way, or you can pick up a weapon and stand a post. Now is the time. Okay, I'm just about out of time, so I'm going to do my ending here. I want to end you with this tune by the Warrior Song Project, and I want to remind you to tune in to our next new show, July 1st at 1 p.m. I haven't yet decided on the topic. That's not unusual, but you know me, it's bound to be entertaining. I want to leave you with the Warrior Song, and you can go download it from veteransair.us or on iTunes. And while we listen to this, let us remember our brothers and sisters in uniform that even today are standing in harm's way to stand for our freedoms and our liberties. If you are wearing the uniform, I want to say to you, thank you. I want to say to you, I'm proud of you. And until next month, stay safe and stay vigilant.
cross, you're about to be another river of blood running under my feet. Forged in a fire lit long ago. Stand next to me, you'll never stand alone. I'm last to leave, but the first to go. Lord, make me dead before you make me old. I feed on the fear of the devil inside of the enemy faces in my sight. Aim with a hand, shoot with a mind, kill with a heart like Arctic ice.
I am a soldier and I'm marching on.
I am a soldier and I'm marching on.
I am a warrior, this is my song.
I am a warrior and this is my song. I'm basking the glow of the rising war. Lay waste to the ground of an enemy shore. Wade through the blood spilled on the floor. And if another one stands, I'll kill some more. Bullet in the breach and a fire in me. Like a cigarette thrown to gasoline. If death don't bring you fear, I swear you'll fear these marching feet. Come to the nightmare, come to me. Deep down in the dark where the devil be. In the mall where the jaws and the razor teeth. Where the brimstone burns and the angel weeps. Crawl to the gods of across your path. And my silhouette hangs like a body bag. Hope is a moment now long past. The shadow of death is the one I cast. I am a soldier and I'm marching on. I am a warrior and this is my song. My eyes are steel and my gaze is long. I am a warrior and this is my song.
We're not just going to shoot the bastard. We're going to cut